One last point about the Commanders and the Cowboys. The celebration. The turkey leg stashed in the Salvation Army kettle that was bedazzled this year. It wasn't just the regular kettle. It had bling. It had shine. It had glimmer. It looked like a holiday. It was sparkly like a holiday, as Rain Man once said. But this thing, and we had the story at PFT, it was set up days in advance. Dak Prescott went and lobbied to Mike McCarthy for permission to do it. McCarthy's only request was, it better not happen unless the game is well in hand. Prescott was smart. He asked McCarthy in the presence of Jerry Jones. He knew Jerry Jones was going to be in favor of it. You know, it's kind of like knowing when to work your parents for that thing you want. You know which parent is more likely to say yes. And if you just get him at the right time, the one that's more likely to say yes is going to prevail on the one that's more likely to say no. You get what you want. So, look, I assume fines are going to be handed out because that's what the NFL does. The NFL softened about 7 or 8 years ago considerably the rules regarding celebrations. You can do the group celebrations, and we see some great ones. You can use the ball as a prop. You can, do certain things you used to not be able to do, but you still can't use external props. And we've seen guys get fined for jumping into the kettle, doing the kettle as whack-a-mole, putting money in the kettle. I would say stashing a turkey leg in the kettle and getting it out and eating it would probably fall within the Joe Horn cell phone under the padding of the goalpost category and result in a fine. I wish it wouldn't, and maybe it won't. I mean, why put the kettle there at all if you're not going to let players incorporate the kettle into their celebrations? And the reality is, they're always looking for something different. You can't just jump in the kettle every year. You're trying to go next level. You're trying to take the bit another step farther. Like maybe next year a live turkey is going to come out of the kettle. I don't know. And then maybe the year after that, they butcher the live turkey on the sideline. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be a pilgrim's costume in there that, you're going to jump in if you're Dak Prescott and do a quick change into the pilgrim costume and get out and run around on the field on Thanksgiving. There's always that push to do something new and do something different. But the problem is the kettle. The kettle is what the law would call an attractive nuisance. It's there. Hey, it's the freaking apple tree. Look but don't touch. Touch but don't taste. Thou shalt not eat the forbidden fruit. Why'd you put the tree there anyway? If you don't want us to eat the fruit, why is the tree there? If you don't want us to mess with the kettle, why is the kettle there? It's like the school. You got the strict rule when it's recess. You can't leave the grounds. Well, they put a Ferris wheel right on the other side of the school grounds. You expect the kids not to flock to the Ferris wheel? They put the kettle right there. What do you think? It's a giant kettle big enough for a human being to get inside of it. What the hell do you expect, NFL? So if you're going to let them put the kettle there, let the players have their fun with the kettle. So I know rules are rules. But come on, let's have a dispensation. Let's have a Thanksgiving exception. Let's have a red kettle exemption. Put it in the rule book. The kettle can be used as props. Turkey legs can be stashed in the kettle. Live turkeys can be put in the kettle. Pilgrim costumes can be put in the kettle. It's just ridiculous. Just don't put the kettle out there, NFL. Don't let Jerry Jones put the kettle out there. It's going to draw those kinds of reactions. And it's ultimately great. If you're trying to support Salvation Army, it's great. We're talking about the red kettle. And maybe the fine is part of the madness. Maybe Jerry's right. Just put the fine money into the Salvation Army. You're talking about the whole thing. You're increasing awareness of the red kettle. Not that we're not aware of the red kettle. I mean, this is the time of year where everywhere you go, somebody's ringing that damn bell. I mean, how much money do I have to give you to get you to stop ringing the bell anytime I walk up to the door? I'm sorry. I like, under certain circumstances, the sound of bells ringing is very soothing and, but just that constant chinga, 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 chinga. There's a point where enough. Really, how much can I give you to stop? What's your budget? What's your target? Like, how much are you trying to raise with this kettle this year outside of this store that I go to all the time? What is it? I'll write you the check. Go home. Your work is done. Take the bell, take the kettle, and go home. I may have to consider that. I don't go to many stores. I don't do much. It occurred to me not that long ago that I'm basically on house arrest. I was watching the documentary and somebody in it was on house arrest. And when the person explained what they were allowed to do while on house arrest, I realized when I'm home, I'm basically on house arrest. I go to the same places that someone on house arrest would be allowed to go to and nowhere else, like someone on house arrest, other than the fact that I fly to Connecticut every weekend during the season, but that's for work too. Like, I basically am on house arrest, and I would pay good money for the Salvation Army kettle person to go on house arrest and get out from in front of the store where I go and have to listen to that damn bell. I'm serious. I'm going to say, what's your budget? What's your quota? What's your number? Here's the check. You don't have to clear out I'll tell you, here's my schedule. Here's my schedule for the month. Here's when I'm coming. Just don't be here when I'm coming for the remainder of the month. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.